I mean, Noble's composition really does favor on this map. Look at that wall. The rotation through over into the A site, completely uncontested here as EG. They've kind of called it, though. They figured it out.
And Potter just kind of on door duty here to make sure that that one doesn't come up. So at the very least, they know one playing inside the tube. Foe gonna find the first kill on the round. A lot of utility expended thus far. And oh, the baits come in. They go back for the door. Potter, unfortunately, pays for it with her life as Precision playing up top on the boxes, able to trade out that kill. Branted goes good for one. So what's more, Evil Geniuses back on top in terms of numbers. The Payan could get some value here. That spike all this time had been making it over towards that B side after that kill came through. Precision now will fall. It's Branted to pick that one up. Payan, knife in hand, now will swap weapons and have just the most perfect backstab. No, Roka snips it out, takes him down. B-Dog the next to fall as Branted finds a 3K on the round. A defuse. Oh no, okay. Maybe gonna give it away, as I say, in one pip now away from the Blade Storm, but more importantly, Evil Genius is on the board.
Well, his name is Precision, but it was Branted that had the precise gunplay there. It was literally pixels, the range on that, being able to win out in that duel, and that, of course, cements the numbers advantage and helps EG get that retake done. However, given that that was the, obviously not the bonus round, but they bought up a little bit. They were able to buy the rifles because it was the third round. Now, however, Noble are able to match those rifles, and Evil Geniuses didn't lose too much. So it really is full rifles across the board here. And interestingly enough, Seekers are already online here for Noble, so that can give a ton of information if they want to wait for post-plant or even just for getting onto site.
Poison's off. Welcome to my world.
As Viper's Pit and the cross of the toxic screens gonna make this A site hard for both teams to get on into it. The Seeker's taken down as Potter wary of somebody pushing on through, and that's exactly the call there. Precision able still to find one. Foe trades it back. The Seekers still managing to try and track somebody down on the site. Fake plant from B-Dog now finally will be initiated. The Viper's Pit still continues to be a thorn in the side. Roka gonna clear the angles. Not gonna find the kill there. A couple of cyber cages will back Payan away. And the three remaining from Evil Geniuses have a whole lot of green stuff to work through. And a spike to defuse, and they're running out of time to do it. Leviathan looking to find the backstab onto Branted. Looking to find a way into the pit. Unfortunately, I mean, Foe and Temperature, okay, no, they do have a whole lot to work with. It's Leviathan, though, to go outside the pit to find the kill. It's ZK to find Foe on the inside, and it was looking doable for a quick moment, but that's all it was. Just a quick moment as Noble find their third.
Impressive that Leviathan had that Viper's Pit up on round 4. And what's really sad is obviously all of the kills, because Leviathan got a couple of kills in that round, but none of them count towards the ult points because his ultimate was still up. Of course, it makes a ton of sense, but obviously now going to have to start from 0. And I think that's something that Noble is doing quite well, is getting that ult orb control quite quickly. They had 2 ultimates in that previous round. They used both of them, and you can even see ZK is like 5 out of 7. They're doing so well to keep building up those ultimates. But speaking of, Blade Storm's going to get popped here for Evil Geniuses and immediately shut down.
Immediately shut down. The Owl Drone not only spotting Branted out, but then the call out there for Payan to find that kills. And that's all it is. It's all Payan for Branted in this round as the Eco. One does get traded back. Potter able to pick that one up. Recon Bolt. Look for a tag. Unfortunately, not going to find it. So the unexpected Astra going galactic, trying to get those stars down. Unfortunately, pays for it with her life. Nice leer, though. Going to keep Potter alive for a moment. The drop down coming through. The vent is there, and the kills to follow. It's all up the temperature here, and unfortunately just doesn't have the arsenal to do it. It's another round the way of Noble. And another spike plant means another ult pip, means another bit of momentum here swinging their way.
Oh, the timing on that cross was so good. Absolutely perfect. And that the kill onto ZK is like the worst thing ever, because he was in his astral form. And it's like, there is no worse feeling than getting caught with your utility out, especially when there's like one of your teammates right next to you and they're just busy watching the entirely wrong angle. The trade does come through, thankfully, and it doesn't ultimately cost them the round, but it is a little bit of a feels bad. And EG, of course, ooh, I like this, starting out immediately with that Viper's Pit to shut down this B site, but Noble seems undeterred.
Yeah, and because of that, right, you have to put it up towards the front, and then you need to start backing away because people are going to start taking shots. And the Tasmanian Tiger and the Trailblazer pushes foe all the way out, so a very spooky spot for a second because he wasn't inside the pit, could have been spotted. And I mean, you take a couple of seconds back, and that would have been the answer, but instead it's foe to come out on top. Now dancing around the pillars will eventually fall. B-Dog gonna take a bite out as the wall goes up. ZK finds another. The Cosmic Divide stopping a push for now. Temperature there to battle back. Needs to find some more and does so. As a resurrection to come on through. B-Dog falls right afterward, paying back on the board, but Evil Geniuses still a player ahead. The neural theft for the information, the guiding light for the flash, dancing inside the cyber cages. Is it gonna be enough? It's not. Caught with bird in hand. Precision will fall, and EG back on the board.
What's really cool to note as well as B-Dog, who played the Jet on the previous round, is actually playing the Sage this time around, has yoinked that away from his teammate. And it's nice to see that they are quite flexible in the roles that they play, so that they can play just about any composition where necessary. Now, Evil Geniuses, we're going 2 for 1 for 2 for 1. We'll see if Evil Geniuses can somehow build up a little bit of momentum there. Of course, they had to burn 2 ultimates in that last round. It was quite an expensive one. They're only really going to have the Hunter's Fury here to work with because everything else... Was it more than 2? Damn, it was like every single ultimate. They went so big in that round.
Yeah.
And that's a terrifying thought, to have to invest that much into a round to win it out. It's not a good look.
That's a great look, though. The one tap there, the precision on the crosshair, the Hunter's Fury behind it, finds a tag onto 2. And a kill onto 1. Meanwhile, Leviathan lurking up, gonna fall to foe, and it seems like the confidence is starting to get a little shaky from Noble. They're losing out on the fights. They're not ready for the angles, and Branted gonna go back to it. I spoke too soon as ZK finds a trade kill, but it's all up to the 10 HP Cypher. And Cypher v Cypher, Temperature comes out on a top 4-3, the scoreline on Breeze. And I love what we're seeing thus far, Sam.
Glad to see that Evil Geniuses were able to maintain that momentum once again, because I kind of mentioned at the start of that round that it's not a great look to only be winning rounds when you have 4 or 5 ultimates to invest, but oh, I love that. Nice little rewind there. They were able to win that one out in a very dry fight, and they've built up to giving Branted the operator once again. We saw how terrifying he was with that previously, but do mine eyes deceive me? That's 3 marshals on the attack.
And that's a tough way to go down there. Again, another one tap this time, courtesy of Temperature. Nice guiding light, though. That's an upgrade for Leviathan off the back end of that kill and the neural theft for information. Now it's Noble with the ultimate, trying to get something done. The Seekers go through. The Marshals ring loud and clear as they push onto the site to get the spike down. Some way, somehow, Noble might possibly have managed to sneak away around that they shouldn't have. With the spike down, they will all back away out towards main. The heal from the regrowth will come through, and now the post plant will ensue. Oh, the lineup.
Really gonna be... Oh, there's only 1 snake bite, though. So they're going to have to do a lot from range here. Now, that 1 snake bite is going to come out. It's going to land on the spike, but is it going to be enough to maintain control?
I mean, kill for kill, Noble's still ahead here. Now down to just foe for Evil Geniuses, and there's the thrifty victory for Noble to grow their lead to 2.
There is nothing more satisfying to me than seeing ciphers consistently come up. Just because, like, everyone loves gassing up the duelist, you know? Oh, look how the Jet popped off and the Reyna did so much. But if we look at the scoreboard right now, the duelists are not coming up as big as, well, everyone else. Okay, it helps that Noble doesn't actually have any duelists, but, you know, it's nice to see that these supportive agents have both the ability to support the rest of the team, but also frag out when necessary, and it's coming up big here for Noble. It's coming up all right for EG, but like I mentioned, the double duelist on this map,
Oh, man.
it's not the idea. All right, cool. Branton, just shut me up, why don't you?
Yeah, I mean, geez, Louise. Branton at the start of these rounds has been so huge. This is the recovered operator from that last round. B-Dog is able to sneak away. Fo spots it out, takes him down. A flawless round in response for Evil Genius. The lead now cut down to 1. Once more. Yeah, Sam, to kind of go back to what you're talking about, we talked about what we do have on the map. We didn't talk about what we didn't have, which is the double duelist on the side of Noble. So it's double controller, double sentinel, and then one singular initiator. And I'm interested to see, because you had the stats, or I believe you said Anders had the stats in the double duelist kind of going poorly. And I wonder if we get, I guess we stray away from that a little bit, because Evil Genius is starting to bring it back, and they actually force a tactical timeout from Noble.
So the way he explained it to me, and since we have the timeout now, I can actually talk about it a little bit. But if you look at things like trading card games, whenever new cards or a new meta come out, the kind of go-to is that the aggro builds start out being the best, and then over time, other builds start to come through. It's like you come to a wall, and if you can't figure a way around it or over it, you kind of just brute force your way through it. And that's kind of what's happening on Breeze with the double duelist compositions, and we see that with just about every new map. Starts out on double duelist just to kind of, brute force your way through that wall, and over time they start to figure out, all right, these compositions work out a little bit better, these agents have a little bit better utility. You look at the layout of the map and what's going to work out better, and we can see, yes, okay, the double duelist comp for EG is starting to get better results than when the round initially started out. But Noble has so much utility to play with, particularly when they get into those post-plant scenarios, that this composition is very powerful.
You are defying it.
A nice Cosmic Divide. The star is going to be used as well. The Grav Well and the Nova Pulse. Longer cooldowns on those, so they won't be available for another 25 seconds. Inside the pit they go. Beautiful trap wire there to find the kill onto Temperature. Everything done perfectly to take this site and get the spike down. Leviathan stays alive. The Viper's Pit is still up out towards the flank. Potter spots one. I was close there. Nice little tongue twister as she finds another, but the Viper still alive means the pit still very healthy. A tap on the spike. They're getting chipped away at. The decay is there. The pit is finally gone, and ZK needs to spray him down, but it's Potter for 3. And it's EG to 5. And Sam, I just have to say, I absolutely love this. On Icebox, it felt like Potter fell into a bomb planting bot mode, where you're playing the Sage, you have the spike, you run up, you wall, you try and plant. And I think that took away from her ability to focus on gunfights. But now playing the Sova, we're getting a bit more of that. And it feels like Potter is actually having some room to breathe, not necessarily having to worry about the spike specifically. And you can already see her putting her work in here on Breeze. And it puts Noble now down on an eco buy. A couple of Guardians, or a Guardian and a Marshal, but they have another Viper's Pit to worry about. The hit does seem to be going towards that A side, and the Gravity Well going to pull Branted in, so a spooky spot to be in for a moment. Up shot through the Poison Cloud, not going to land. Leviathan going aggressive, but they back away. They show their respects. They'll give up the site and look to play retake.
Super aggressive push straight onto the side here. Branton trying to get some value out of this operator, but again, the composition with so many smokes and sightline denial abilities is going to make it very difficult to actually get some value. Wild shots into the smoke, hoping something is going to connect, but gives away his position. Gotten away by the skin of his teeth.
And a heads-up play by Temperature to be ready on the flank after walking in, but it doesn't matter. The kills still ring true for Noble. Now it's all up to Temperature. On the flank, was once spotted before, trying to find the shots on his counterpart, but it's paying out on top, and it's another thrifty round win for Noble.
It just keeps going back and forth here. I will say this is a much closer map than what we saw on Icebox. It took Evil Geniuses a little while to kind of get that momentum going, but they've started to look a little bit better here. You can actually see 3 of the rounds that they've won have been retakes, and obviously one of the biggest reasons they weren't able to win out on that retake was because they had nothing to deal with the Viper's pit. It shut down all of the sight lines. Branted's value went down to just about 0 because he couldn't see anything, and that's again the kind of high risk play that you have when you run an operator into this kind of composition. But a very deep angle here. Can he get the value? No! B-Dog wins the sniper battle.
And that is what I was looking forward to after spotting Icebox and understanding where we would be. Roka trades back another kill. I knew that as the series went on, we were going to get the op battles, whether it be Jets or not. It was going to be Branted and B-Dog, and we get one there. It's B-Dog out on top. The lurk out towards B going to be stunted, which calls for a rotation with nobody else spotted on that side of the map. Evil Geniuses can start to bring up the reinforcements.
I've got your
Try and back up this A site. Seekers once more. My goodness, Seekers on this map feel like they've been online 3 or 4 times already. So Precision just absolutely farming orbs. Just as Potter starts to farm some kills, Leviathan hops on the board as well. It's Roka to trade that one out, and Potter lower on HP tries to find a way back in, but it's ZK once more, the last one standing. Alir right in front, able to take it down. 18 health, needs to find a couple of one-taps. Unfortunately, the reload will stop him from doing so for just a moment as Foe closes it out 6-6 at the half. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I'm glad this is where we are. We swap sides, we are completely even, and we get to go again.
What's really exciting me is, again, this double duelist composition tends to be a lot more potent when you're on the attack. We noted this on Icebox as well. Evil Geniuses have a very good attacking side. That again. Sometimes it happens that you're only stronger on a specific side on a specific map. You know, some maps you'll have a stronger defense, some maps they'll have a stronger attack. So the big question here for me is this going to be another map where Evil Geniuses are stronger on the attack? Because if that's true, if that is the case, then we might see them take a runaway win here. But of course, Noble, knowing that they are 1-up in the series, going to be looking to close this one out as handedly as they possibly can. What I love looking at the buy up here, so of course you got a bunch of ghosts for Evil Geniuses, and those are great for those long range fights, but Noble is looking to take the close range fights. They've even got a frenzy there for the Volvo peaks around corners, but if things do remain at long range, particularly on such a large map, it's going to favor Evil Geniuses a bit here.
And what a cam to be up top and spot so much. Brandon tries to dash away, stays alive though, so we're seeing the changes a bit in action there. The Jets just can't get out of the trap wires, and that's become just muscle memory at this point, just as clicking heads has become for Leviathan. Roka will fall, guiding light still available, and a player ahead are Noble, but they're working against the clock.
Looking good, at least for the moment. They've got some decent positions here, and they're creating the pincer as well, but the timing here needs to be perfect. Stampeding through, so the sound cue is given away, uses the guiding light to try to move in.
1-for-1 trade though. Spike is ticking. Somebody's got to hop on that one here very soon, as it's all down to B-Dog. Who better than Potter to close things out on the pistol round? A 3K for the Sova, a lead for Evil Geniuses. We'll see if Noble are feeling feisty here, and they are looking to force up once more.
Potter absolutely popping off here, looking much better. I think one of the other things we have to keep in mind is when you're playing that spike plant bot on the Sage, you're also holding on to your heal, because very often as you're planting, something's going to come out like a snake bite or a nano swarm or whatever. So as you jump off of it, you need to have that available for yourself. So like your assists are low, your kills generally tend to be low. It's such a sucky position to be in. Now she has an opportunity. It's like the anime meme where, you know, she's released the weights and she's able to absolutely pop off. A great first round for Evil Genius, is a good first pistol round here. And wow, okay, Brandon buys up to a rifle. That's brave.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've seen, right, from EG, and I wonder, because we have just been following this team closely, if we continue to see more teams do that. A couple of Bulldogs, we've seen full rifles, and the Phantoms or the Vandals coming in as well for that EG roster. Is the force up? Starts to look pretty good for Noble thus far. 1 kill and a heaps of damage with these Marshals. I mean, it's just so hard to beat here on this map. You try and jiggle peek there, and what can you even do? You got the scoped rifles. Noble's got a couple of kills. 2 more here. Close in tow as Payan finds the back of the head at temperature. Branton maybe goes down. Alir as Roka looks for a flank, tries to punish. with the close angles, but it's just a Bulldog. Lear goes out, 49 HP, not going to be enough. The spike plant, really the only thing that rings true here for Evil Geniuses. The only light at the end of the tunnel is now that Noble are working against the clock. One kill comes down, the run and gun around the corner, making a second. It's a classic. That's all that's needed for Precision to close things out, and Noble find a way again to win the Force.
The Marshall crossfires are so nasty. They create this beautiful triangle on the site. So no matter where you peek out from, you kind of jiggle to the right, you got a Marshall shooting at you, you kind of jiggle to the left, there's two more Marshalls over there. And by the end of it, somebody will have blown your head off. I mean, we're never going to see this, but I wonder what it would look like if Noble came out with like 2 operators, you know? And just create that crossfire, that same crossfire, but with just like with the added firepower. But again, very difficult to play around. That being said, Evil Geniuses really don't have anything to deal with those long sight lines. They've got a couple of Lears, which can be dealt with by your riflers if they want to try and make sure that you still have sights available. And then there's the Cypher Cages and the Poison Orbs, which don't tend to, I mean, you can see that the Cypher Cages have already been dropped very early on in the round, so there's always an opportunity to play around that.
Yeah, and if you're Evil Geniuses, the only thing that you can really work with is you have to be playing on the timing of that toxic screen, right? It's all up to Foe and his management on the toxins for the Jet that will allow them to push onto the site like we're seeing now. So if there are more Marshals, they shouldn't get as much value as the cages go down. The tag comes out. Precision with the Bulldog takes a bite out of 2. Branted able to trade it back, but it's a 2-for-1. The spike is fallen, and it has not been retrieved. A tough spot to get out to. Is paying dances around the box. Branted trying to find something over the top of pipes. Unfortunately, it's 3 players to worry about. It's all up to Temperature, who's got a solid flank. But so does Leviathan right behind the Cypher as 2 remain for Noble to grab their lead back.
Jeez, this has been crazy back and forth throughout this series. But of course, Noble getting these last 2 rounds means that they should be looking pretty good coming into this next one. Yeah, they're going to have the 2 Bulldogs, but we've seen what they can accomplish with that. And unfortunately, that's going to put Evil Geniuses back down onto pistols again. They do, however, have Hunter's Fury and the Blade Storm, so very likely we'll see Branted pop that one again because this is an eco round. Very often we see that happen, but there's Seekers available to try to shut down the ingress.
Branted with the Blades. And try and be the tip of the spear for his squad. Owl Drone stopped for a second because of that gravity well, so slowed down the push towards the B side. It looked like EG wanted to hit it quick, but the Astra is still proving to be difficult even after the changes. The Ult Orb unretrieved, but now Leviathan should have a solid angle on it. Unfortunately for Leviathan, he might be peeking down the knives. The first members, one goes wide. Branted wishing he had that one back. As we continue the slow pace, Noble also starting to corral this EG squad nice and slow like as they have since taken the site. All things cleared out. Toxic screen. Yeah, there it is. Nice lurk. Precision just holding it down. Temperature not able to find it. Seekers online. Again, I think that's Precision's 5th ultimate this game, Sam.
I mean, yeah, some really, really impressive stuff from this player. The name really does suit. And there you go. Going to continue to build up to the next one. Jeez, man. 3K in the round. The knives miss.
Well,
oh, wow.
If you blink, you missed it.
I kind of missed it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, if you blinked, you missed it. It was the slow game, and it was also an eco round from Evil Genius. So you're expecting, you know, it to go the way of Noble, but not like that. Not like Precision watching the flank, punishing Temperature, and finding a few more rounds on it, then paying a walk in through the toxic screen, and the knives going wide. Branted. I mean, you kind of said it, the duelists for Evil Geniuses have really been struggling to find their footing. And again, on the defensive end, maybe it's a little bit harder. Now that they move to attack, things get a bit more doable. But you win the pistol, you lose the anti-eco. That stings because of the force up. Then obviously you lose that one. So the rounds get shaken up in such a weird way that Noble still find themselves in the lead. Now 2 rounds, and it was even at the half. This is the first full buy from Evil Geniuses. And, well, they can't really lurk up. Temperature gonna try to do that with the Viper's Pit here, but Leviathan gonna spot him out, take him down. The Bulldog just so strong, especially when that decay is there. So a nice upgrade in the hands of the Vipers. Evil Genius is down a player, and they got to go back to the drawing board.
And that's such a wild position for the Viper's Pit as well. Very often you'll see it block off kind of the entrance to the A side, or as we've seen for quite a few rounds, the B side. But this just cuts off the rotation between mid and B, so it forces EG to have to take much longer rotations, and that continues to burn down the time. But the spike is still moving over towards the A side as we have Roka kind of lurking towards mid here, trying to get some picks and some information. But there's like a counter lurk coming through from the B side as well. This pincer is going to be nasty.
And a split coming through. Ooh, Empress pop. Lear to go out. Leviathan right behind it. Now expecting the Empress, but the Empress comes out on top. Reigns supreme only for a moment longer as Potter finds another kill. A 3v3. Make it a 3v2 as Precision's name still rings true. The spike has been planted. EG have since backed away to assume their post-plant positions, but all three members here from Noble on the site. Nice little triangle formation. Guiding Lycan to find the blind. They know exactly where Branted is playing. It could also give away that Foe is playing out towards Hook. The kills are coming through. Precision to fall at the end. It's Branted and Foe out on top, and EG close the gap to 1.
Nice solid round there. I was impressed that they went in so aggressive into that Viper's Pit, but of course using the Empress kind of helps you out a little bit. The obscured vision from the Viper's Pit gets a little bit countered by the fact that when you're in Empress, everybody just gets lit up bright red. So that helps to kind of counter that one, and once they had taken down the Viper, the Pit goes down and they have full access to the site. They're able to get in and clean that one up. But again, a fairly expensive round with a few ultimates getting put into that one. As now Noble only really have that neural theft. EG kind of holding on to that Hunter's Fury, which could come up really big here, especially if they're going to go for one of those post-plant things, but can also be used here to clear out angles and give them an opportunity. Did that hit the Cypher?
Yeah, I got a tag onto 2. I think a bit of friendly damage as well, but that's A-okay. The Viper to be a bit lower in health. B-Dog making sure everybody stays low on the side of Evil Geniuses as Leviathan looks to push on through. Roka answers back with 2 of their own. The spike goes down. Plant.
One enemy remaining.
Now going to be pressed here. As Foe, the last one standing. Has the Poison Cloud available, I'm sure, on top of the spike. Snakebite going through. Able to buy some time. Looking to play around the cage. Paying low on HP. We should see a double swing coming out. Oh no, that Snakebite doesn't land. Trying to stick it here. It goes halfway, but it doesn't matter. The kill to follow, and I don't know if, I mean, the Poison Cloud is on top of it, but those Snakebites just did not land in the right spot there. That was rough for Foe, forced to take that 1v2 fight there at the end.
The toxins must have been low. I can't think of another reason why that Poison Cloud didn't come out, or maybe just to make sure that you weren't denying your own sight lines onto the site itself and onto the diffusers. But at the same time, with 2 players kind of aiming at you, they know exactly where you are, and it's so easy for them to just kind of swing on one another and being able to defend the diffuser, get that final kill. Noble now up to double digits. EG back down onto a save. Only 2 rifles to use. They committed that Hunter's Fury. They've got that Viper's Pit available. Oh, but there it is. That's why the initiators are so strong here.
And B-Dog, I mean, from the jet to the sage, looking just as good as it looks like. Temperature gonna try and dance around the door as well. I actually really enjoyed seeing that. A cool little strategy, right, that we saw earlier. Not gonna be the case this time around. Granted, I believe the only one with the rifle for this squad. ZK still holding it down out towards mid. Where we have a push up towards the tube. Sheriff shots, unfortunately, go just a bit wide, and B-Dog showing off the skills there of the Sage. Playing on top of the wall, having all the angles. And now the 2 that were inside tube have since been called out as that trap wire was destroyed. And it's a classic and a Vandal to find 5 kills for Evil Geniuses if they want to try and chip away at their deficit once more.
This was essentially an anti-eco for Noble,
30
so
seconds left.
if and when they went out this round, it's more or less expected. It's not a great look. There you go, the last 2 kills, the cleanup there from Leviathan, and 11 to 8 here. Now, Evil Geniuses might be able to... No, yeah, okay, they can more or less buy up here at least, so they've got that going for them, but they need to win this one out, because now here's where the danger comes in. If they lose this round, not only is it match point, but more than likely they're forced back down onto either a broken buy or a save. Even with the loser's streak, I'm not sure that it'll be enough to come into this with everything available to them. Rifles, full armor, abilities, all of that good stuff. And Noble, if they went out this round, then they're sitting pretty. They've still got 3 ultimates available here. One of those is that Cosmic Divide as well to just shut down the ingress. And EG been sitting on this Viper's Pit for a little while, but just have not had the opportunity to drop it.
Nice. We get another green wall here. I love seeing that color in the barrier orb placed up, and a nice position out towards B as well, just playing over the top of the wall. Unfortunately, not going to get the value just yet. Granted, we'll find a kill, but Leviathan there to battle back. Of course, Leviathan is there to battle back. 3 kills on the round, and this could quite possibly be the last buy round that we see coming out of Evil Geniuses, and it's looking to end like this. A resurrection comes through, and now Roka in a 1v4 situation, looking to take the spike on over towards the A side. It's unoccupied for now, with 4 players to worry about on the retake. The spike plant coming. The Seeker will time out, and Roka, at the very least, should get a plan. Has 30 seconds to work with to clear out all the angles that he needs to, but instead goes right for the plant. We'll see how he's able to juck and jive here. In a 1v4, Noble with map point on the horizon.
Oh. Did they spot him? They must have. That's both guiding lights out. Here comes the Trailblazer. That's going to give all of the information away.
The timing.
Oh, it doesn't spot him. Oh.
B-Dog didn't see. Okay, finally, B-Dog sees him there. The footsteps in front. Can't hear the footsteps in the back or the shot ringing true. B-Dog to close out that one, but it started off so good by Leviathan. The only member to fall there, we'll say, a resurrection was used, but Leviathan picking up 3 kills that he had no right in finding out towards mid.
Those flicks were ridiculous to be able to get all of that value, and then that third one was looking really touch and go. He had to like spray quite a bit. They stop the spray, start again, try to correct the aim a little bit, but eventually it does actually come through there. And yeah, the 3K just to help cement that victory. With the Seekers coming out, it did time out, but it gave the information that that's where Roka was going. It wasn't kind of chilling towards the B side. So the rotation starts to come through, the pincer maneuver, and EG, yes, on one of these very strange buys, they're going to have to drop everything they have into this round. They're going to start off with that Blade Storm, but there's that Viper's Pit up in the Sniper's Nest, going all the way down into that mid link.
Yeah, and more importantly, a little bit of backup on that Viper's Pit, because there's also a trap wire there. So just in case they try and push through again. Speaking of trap wires, Roka gonna walk right into one. Foe finally able to get a Viper's Pit down of his own. Granted, forced back away, 56 health with the knives in hands. Cosmic Divide gonna cut off any players looking to push out towards that A main area. Potter, unfortunately, vulnerable by the snake bite, taken down by Pain. A couple of body shots is all it took to do her in. Temperature battles back for 1. DK is there, so the trades just ring too strong here for the Noble squad. Now Foe dancing around the ultimate with 16 health decay of his own, up to 48. Needs to find a way to hold on as the snake bites go down. It's 1 HP on ZK, creeping up around the corner, looking to play the box. Foe sits him down, 3K on the round, needs to find B-Dog, and will do it. Foe will hang on, as will EG.
Yo, that's one of the best clutches I've seen. They knew that the direction that he was going in, they had a decent idea of where he was, but neither of them able to actually get that final kill there. ZK gives the information, but Foe moves away, and B-Dog just cannot predict the movement around that Evil Geniuses needed mostly because it was match point, but also because their economy has been such a freaking mess. But again, it was one of those rounds where they burnt every single ultimate, 3 ultimates to win that round. They pulled out a bunch from Noble as well. They still have their neural theft available. And again, it's just every single round. Oh, that's a good start for EG, but oof.
A very good start. We've already seen what B-Dog can kind of get done with that wall out towards mid, right? You get to peek over towards that tunnel, elbow area. You also get to peek over the top of mid, just in case anybody's playing around that pillar. So a nice pickoff to have as Potter brings up the rear, trying to work in tow here with temperature. Nice cam by Pan. We'll spot it out just in case. Also has the trap wire and the cyber cage to slow the push down for just a moment. 55 seconds on the clock and a neural theft to work with on top of it all. Unfortunately, that body fell on the opposite side of the wall. Now out of time as the cage gets popped. Another one goes down. The dash onto the side. Branted just on the opposite side of the wall. So not getting punished too heavily there. We'll make it onto the site. The spike will also be planted here. So 5v4 retake. Noble down a player. Make it even as Leviathan finds another. And again, Leviathan finding kills that he should just not find. The Hunter Shuri gonna go wide, splits the upright onto Roka, and tagged up and quite possibly taken down. The Trailblazer snakebite combo proven to be strong. The shots coming on through. Noble trying to close it out. It's all up to Branton and Foe. Now it's Foe once more. Has the utility. The guiding light gonna find the blind. The snakebite cut out, pulls out the gun, but can't do it in time. And Noble will do it in 2-0 fashion. It will qualify for playoffs here in the NSG Summer Champs June qualifier.
Wow, okay. That was a much, much closer map than what we had seen.